Hi, welcome to Simply Scrapping. Today I'm doing a layout for the Girls Down Under Facebook group that I'm in, and it's a weekend challenge, and people are selected randomly from a wheel of everyone in the group, and they then set the challenge for the weekend, and you can create a layout using whatever specifications that person comes up with. So this time it was Amanda's turn, and she set out a really fun challenge, and it was all based around, which was really clever, it was all based around the fact that she had to take her car to the mechanic today. And so she chose the parameters for us to use, which were red because her car's red, something round because the cars have wheels which are round, something hot or cold because she needed to go get the air conditioning fixed on her car, and then stitching, real or fake, or faux, whatever term you like to use, because she bought a little hand stitching gadget from Aldi, so wanted to test that out. So we have to use stitching and then use a included transport element, because car, transport, yeah, all goes together. So I think that was really clever of her to use that to come up with the parameters. So what am I doing? I'll also have a link to the group in the description box below if you're interested. Australia and New Zealand scrappers, more the merrier. Please join. We are a very friendly group and we do lots of fun things. Alright, so this is my photo I'm scrapping, and yes, it's really skinny because my printer printed it really weird. It printed it 6 inches but then put a margin on it for some reason, so the photo is actually only 3.5 inches, so it does look a little strange, but anyway, I kind of work with it. So this is a jigsaw of the Monopoly game. Sorry. And it's the Australian Community Relief Edition. I didn't even know this actual game existed. My husband saw this jigsaw puzzle and thought, well, my daughter likes playing Monopoly. We actually all like playing Monopoly. So he bought the jigsaw puzzle, put it aside with intention to give it to her for Christmas or her birthday. And then he saw it again, probably about 6 months later, and bought it again. So now we have 2 of them. So it's been sitting around for a while, and I don't even think we actually gave it to her as a present. And the 2 of them were sitting on his tall boy in our bedroom, and I went, well, let's just give her one now. So we gave her one, and she did it, and yeah, there you go. So I'm doing that because it's a funny story behind it. Sorry, so that's my photo. And I thought, well, what am I going to do with that? I have no embellishments that are Monopoly themed or jigsaw puzzle themed, anything like that. So I came up with a little sketch and thought, well, here's my photo, although my photo is a lot skinnier. I want to do banners at the top, embellishments down the bottom, and I just drew the circles, went, okay, embellishments down the bottom. I want my title to be Jigsaw Fun. And then I went to Creative Fabrica and what can I find Monopoly themed? And all I found was a little Monopoly man. And then I thought, well, I've got to include a transport element and red. So I want the little red car that's in the free parking spot on Monopoly. And I came up, there's very few cars, so I came up with this. It is an SVG, but it was way too fussy for me to cut out on my brother. I went, no, I'm not going there. This was an SVG as well. I went, I'm not into cutting all those little pieces. So I printed them both out as JPEGs, and I'm going to fussy cut around the car. So I can cut the presents off, exclude the Merry Christmas, just physically cut around the car, cut around my Monopoly man, and they're going to be my embellishments down the bottom. And then my title is going to be made from these alpha dies, alphabet Arlo mode dies. I think that will fit in quite nicely at the bottom. And because it's a game or a jigsaw puzzle of a game board, I wanted to give that game board sort of appearance. So it's going to be a red backing or base layer, and then I'm going to back it in red. So it's going to be like a framed layout. So then that gives the board, game board type look. And then I've already got my photo backed on white cardstock and then blue cardstock. So my title is going to be cut from the same blue cardstock, and the banners are going to be cut out of these 3 papers. So I've got a red circle, blue text, and the yellow sun. These remind me of suns. This one's from Endless Summer Arrangement Echo Park, so I think they're meant to be suns. So that is my element for the something hot or cold. I'm going to say that they are suns, so therefore they are hot. I've got something red. I've got the red car, and something round. I've got the tires on the car are round and the headlights are round. Something hot or cold, I've got my suns that are hot. The transport element, I've got a car, and the stitching, I plan to do my banners. At the top, I'm going to hand stitch the loops for my banners. So that is the plan. Let's see how it goes. Oh, and the banners I'm going to cut out of using this die. It's a uniquely creative die, and I think I can cut, well, I don't know, because this is quite a thin die. It's not how do I put it, they're not the thick deep dies like Stampin' Up have, so it is a little bit thinner, as in the depth of the cutting area, or the cutting edge is not very deep, so I don't know if I can get 2 layers out. I'm going to give it a go. So that is what I'm doing. So my first step is to mat my base, and then I fussy cut these out, but I'll just mat this base because some people may not know how to do this. I can't assume that everyone who watches is an experienced scrapper. Right, so I want sort of that thickness of a border, which is 1/2 inch either side, all the way around. So I'm going to cut 1 inch off 2 sides of my white cardstock, and then that should give me my 1/2 inch border all the way around. Okay, there we go. Sometimes it looks bigger than you anticipate, but I did want, whoops, quite a big border, and I'm just going to glue this on because it gives me a bit of wiggle room to get it even. Oh my gosh, twice I've knocked over that glue. What is going on? Okay, now I eyeball this, even though I have measured it to be correct. I do just still eyeball it when I'm putting it on. So there we go. I think I just lost, Don Monty off my nail art. Never mind, must be time to redo them. Okay, so now I'm going to just temporarily, oh, what a mess. I've got such a mess already. I've only just started. Gosh, I feel like I need to be surrounded by desks on 4 sides so that I have room for everything. Maybe I'm just messy. Temporarily going to add this photo in the middle because that's where I want it to go, just so I can place things around it and so I don't forget. Alright, so that is going there. Right, so now I'm going to fussy cut these out and cut the banners, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. I've fussy cut our Monopoly Man and the red car, and also the title and the banners. And to my surprise, that die cut out 3 layers at once. So I put the 3 bits of paper on top of each other, used the die and ran it through, and it's so quick to do that. And then I thought, well, that's basically the layout. Besides the journaling, which I'll probably put over here, I needed something else. So I went, well, why don't I get a jigsaw piece, trace around it, and put a few scattered here and just draw around them in black pen. So that is what I'm planning to do. But what I want to do first is mark where the edge of this photo is. And I was going to stitch around them because we do have to include stitching, and then went, no, that's a lot of stitching. I'll think about it. I will maybe make that decision later. I don't know. That's an awful lot of stitching. I used to have jigsaw dies, and I think I must have sold them because I don't have them anymore. So as soon as I see some, I think I'm going to grab them. Alright, so this is going to be very boring watching me trace around these. I will just do a few. I had to go through all our jigsaw puzzles, and we have quite a few, looking for the largest pieces, because the one for actually this game were really little, and I thought, oh, I'm not. When I was going to stitch around them, I thought, I am not stitching around those little pieces. So these are the biggest ones we have. And I thought, well, I still don't know if I want to stitch around these. Oh, that is going to look so cool. So my journaling's going over here. So I think I'm only going to put 2. So I want my journaling here. So if I put these up a little bit higher then, so I can still fit 3 in. Okay, so I'm just going to finish this one and then trace around them in pen, and then I'll come back, I'll stick everything down and then come back. Actually, what I might do first, so I'm just using journaling pen, so I'll finish one thought at a time one of these days. I'm going to also just draw in the pencil line for my stitching for the banner. They are just sitting there, those banners. They're not actually in place, like not glued in. But I want like 3. So if I do, actually if I if I stick them in place, then I might have a good idea of where, I'm just going to of where to do the stitching and where to draw the line. I could use my fingers. So this is just the 3M dotty, I call it the dotty roller. I don't know if you can still buy it. I've had this one a long time. It's not 3M, it's Eco Tools Herma brand Dotto, and it's removable adhesive, and I find it amazing. I've been using it a long time, but I use it sparingly because I haven't bought any for a long time, and this is my last roll, so I probably do need to find some, get some more, because it's really good. Because I'm one of those people, I can't stand things moving around when I'm scrapping. If I'm designing something, it's got to be like not moving, because then I can't get a proper idea of what it's going to look like. So let me just finish these 3. And they're not evenly spaced, so I am going to have to move some of these over, which is where the temporary adhesive comes in a treat. Right, so we're going to move you over. And it rubs off, so if I didn't want that there, it just rubs off. It doesn't leave a mark. It's amazing. Love it. Probably should have started in the middle and then done the sides. That would make much more sense, wouldn't it? Did the sides, not done the sides. That bad English. There we go, that's better. Right, so now I'm going to pull it closer. So I can draw these lines. Something like that. Okay, good. Right, so I'm going to finish tracing these lines. Oh, I missed a jigsaw puzzle. Look at that, I missed a piece. I want one over here. Finish going around these in the marker and whoops, stick everything on, and then come back when I'm doing the stitching so I can show you how I started, which is simple, really easy, but just a really quick demo of the stitching, and then we'll finish it up. Alright, okay, I'm just about to stick this title on, and I thought I'd come back just with a little tip. When you're using your T-ruler and putting a title on, if it's a long title like this, sometimes the T-ruler moves around. So what I like to do, or what I've started doing, haven't always done it, is just get a bit of washi tape and tape your layout and the T-ruler down to whatever surface you're using, so then hopefully they don't move around while you are gluing on your title. So now that will make it easy, hopefully, if I can pick these letters up. To glue on my title. Okay, so I've drawn the lines for my stitching in the black journaling pen. So, oh sugar, I went over the pencil lines and with the black journaling pen, so that if I don't get exactly on that line, it's not going to be a problem. So what I have here is just some black embroidery thread, DMC 310, and it's a 6-stranded embroidery cotton. So I just pull one out and the rest can go aside for my cross stitching. Alright, so I have my needle here, which I'll just pop over here so I don't lose it, and my thread. And now I'm just going to make holes for my stitching. So I just put my piercing mat underneath, and then grab my piercing tool and just make a mark. Now, this is going to be hard because I'm going through 2 pieces of cardstock. I'm not measuring, I'm just roughly doing, I don't know, what is that, 1/4 inch maybe, not even, between the holes. And this is hard because I'm going through 2 layers. If I had a thought ahead of time, I could have done it just through the 1 layer, just through the white, but it's okay, I'll make it work. Alright, so I'm just going to keep going, making the holes, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to start the actual stitching. Okay, so I've done all the holes, and you can see on the back that I've gone through all of the layers. So now I'm just going to thread my needle, and the easiest way I find to do it, rather than trying to get your thread through the eye, is I make a loop on my finger, pull it off, and then hold that loop against the side of my finger, push the needle against the loop and against my finger, and then I just wiggle the needle backwards and forwards in this motion ever so slightly. Whoops. Wiggle it down the loop. Oh my gosh, and now, because I'm trying to do it on camera, it doesn't want to work. Whoops, I missed. Okay, keep wiggling, and then you will see the loop through the eye of the needle. Grab the loop and pull it through, and there you have your needle threaded. So easy. So I'm going to do a double thread on this. So I am just going to pull them ends together. I will create a tiny little knot because it's not going to be bulky. and I probably will need more than just this one length, but that's okay. I'm going to tape the start of it, keep it in place. Right, now I'm going to come up through the back. And I am just going to do a straight stitch. You can do lots of other things. So down through the next hole, up through the next, and then you go back to the first hole, up through the next, so that one we've already been through, and then down to the next. And this is just like straight stitching. It is really quick and easy to do. Right, so I'll continue doing this and then I will come back with a completed layout. Okay, so I've done all the stitching on the banner piece at the top, and you can see I started and stopped and just added tape to hold the thread down. So it's really quite easy to do. Now I'm just going to put on some enamel dots at the top. Now I don't have the right blue. I've got that blue. It's probably a little dark. I have several packs of them, but I don't know if I want to use that blue. I've got yellow. How often do I ever use yellow enamel dots? But no, maybe, I don't know. I've got these ones. I only need like 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me use these ones. There's also red in here, and I'll have to use that other, this blue I think, but never mind. Alright, so I'm just going to put it on there. I'm going to do another, okay. I only got the one big yellow, so we'll just have the one yellow, 1 blue and 2 red. So I'll put this blue, this one, not quite dark enough, but it's still blue. And then I'll use, are they the same? They're a little bit bigger. At one stage, I broke up all my embellishments, all my enamel dots into colour packets, and then I never use them because I have all these ones in my containers, and I flick through all these, and all these bags of the colour ones are at the back in another container, and I never think to use them. I always just go straight for the packets. Was that the only one of that colour? That's a different colour, isn't it? Wait, there's another one there. So this was not a wise move, and now that's stuck under. My goodness. Oh, lost one. Where'd you come from? You can go back on there. Yeah, so I don't do that anymore. I just leave them in their packets because it's easier for me to thumb through to find what I'm looking for. So yes, I went through all the multicolours. Like for example, there's a packet like this. I cut them into strips and then cut them in half and tuck them in a little bag. That's what they are. And I never think to use them, never think to look at them, because there's like different sizes together and different styles together. So there's crystal ones, and there's matte ones, and there's the normal enamel dot ones, and there's bows that are red, and yeah. Anyway, that doesn't work for me. It might work for some people. Okay, so there is the page complete. It's simple, it's clean, and it's done. So that memory is documented. My journaling will go here in little strips, and I'm calling it done. I'll have a link below to the group if you want to join. So you have to be from Australia or New Zealand to join our Girls Down Under group, but we'd love to have you join and participate in our challenges and swaps and all sorts of things we do. So if you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that notify bell so you know when my next video is coming out. And thank you so much for watching. Have a scrap happy day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.